Robert Heffernan with EndoTech. This is Blockchain Vitals, and it's our weekly segment. Weekly, and coming to you Monday. Usually I do these on Sunday nights, but I was detained. I'm not sure that's quite the right word. I was in Austin, Texas, for a holiday event, and I'll talk about that in the rounds. You know what? Why don't we just do the rounds, and I can start talking about it. All right, doing the rounds. I do it every day that I stream, talking about what is going on in the Twitter sphere. Some of it comes from the Twitter sphere, and some of it just out there in the good old life anyway. What's going on in the blockchain, crypto assets, things that I'm seeing, things that I'm recognizing, headlines. I cover a lot of different things here. What I want to talk about briefly to start with tonight was the Silicon Valley Blockchain Society's Christmas holiday festivities in Austin, Texas. What a great weekend. And just to tell you that for sure, there are so many incredibly intelligent people involved in this revolution. And that's what they love to call it. In fact, their moniker is Fund the Revolution. So incredibly fun and engaging to hang out in Austin, Texas, with like-minded people, understanding the power of the blockchain, the power of cryptocurrencies, the power of a decentralized, more equitable, more transparent, fairer for everyone system that is the blockchain. And thank you to Silicon Valley Blockchain Society and the Austin, Texas chapter for putting on a world-class event. And again, I can't be more grateful for being involved and having the opportunity to hang out with such incredible people with incredible vision for our collective future. All right, next thing I wanted to cover and say that I have to say it because I've been talking about it for weeks and months now, right? And that's congratulations to the Chicago Bears, NFC North Division champions. 10 wins. 10 wins? Are you kidding me? And I think I have a tweet from midway through the season that I can bring up. Hold on, let's see if I can. No, that's the performances. This was a tweet from back in November when they were halfway through the season. And people understanding that Bears 10 more likely than Bitcoin 12,000. The original prop bet when I brought it out was Bitcoin 15,000 because that's what John McAfee had said in August, I believe. He thought it was going to 15,000 in a couple of weeks. And I was like, dude, I think the Bears got a better chance of winning 10 games this year than Bitcoin does going back to 15,000. Or at least that's going to happen first. Now we got a nice rally on our hands here, right? Crypto's currently exploding or explosive. And the other thing I wanted to talk about briefly, I noticed a tweet from my Twitter friend, John Bollinger, an incredible technician. And his tweet said just something to the effect of, it seems as if this crypto rally might be a he didn't use the words reallocation, but a flight to quality. Could that possibly be? Could there be more quality in some of these cryptos that have been so demolished over the past couple of months that if the stock market keeps rolling over, and for me as a technician, I mean, it just doesn't look good technically. Daily, weekly, monthly charts all rolling and following and containing and holding lower momentum. Now, we all know here, talking cryptos, what markets that look like when they gain lower momentum and just can't seem to climb their way out of it, especially if lower momentum sets in on those longer-term time fractals. And that's what's occurring right now in the stock market. Pick your stock, pick your indice, a lot of lower momentum being firmly entrenched in these markets. And today is the first day we're actually seeing a relatively strong decoupling of price action between especially the U.S. stock market and crypto. So who knows what happens here? You know what? Let's take the vitals and let's talk about that price action, because there are some important levels here on the weekly coming up that this rally is going to run into that will be, as I've said before, those type of levels are where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, and where it's going to be, there will be an argument. All right. I love saying that. There's going to be an argument, meaning there's going to be a lot of buying and selling and people taking an opinionated position via price discovery at those levels. That's an argument. Buy and sold and so forth and so on. HFR, that's me, my badge upside down. Hey, who are you? How do you go up? That's what you used to say on the floor if you've traded with somebody that you didn't know what their badge was. Anyway, and by the way, how do you go up means how do these trades go upstairs and get key punched in? That's the old days, though. All right, everything's with the mouse now. All right, listen, let's take the vitals. All right, taking the vitals. We do it every day that I do a segment. Also, in this segment, it's all about that blockchain vitals sheet and the price action around it and what I'm seeing in the market. And I am talking XRP this week. I'll be covering XRP on a daily basis. And right now, XRP on Bitfinex trading 34.40. And what a little bar they got going right now. As a matter of fact, well into the up momentum level on that daily chart, well above the value range. And now 34.27, and I'm giving you actionable information here. I'm going to cover the rest of the sheet after I get done here with XRP, and I will say goodbye to the YouTube crowd. To get all of the actionable trading content, you need to be an EndoTech subscriber or a Pareto Network token holder. And so I'm going to give you a little tease here, a little tease with XRP, and we will follow XRP all this week so you can get a feel for how my analysis works. Now, my analysis isn't the end of the day, the end of the story. It's just my analysis. I've been fairly successful at it for many years, going on decades, several decades. What am I kidding? Anyway, incredibly important level here now that they've taken out at 34.17 is that lower Mo on the week. All right, so as always in crypto and in any other thing that I trade, it's not just what you've done, but what have you done for me lately? And so I see closes as incredibly important closing levels. So we need for this story to keep evolving and for us to have a Christmas rally. Love to see these things close in up momentum on the daily. That's at 32.55 level. And close the week above 34.27 on the weekly. Then XRP on that weekly fractal, a room to 42.12. That's the weekly center line. Weekly upmo 49.97 and weekly upmo collar 65.68. That lower momentum collar, if this thing just fails and it's a one-day story, is fairly close to where last week's came in. Last week's came in at 21.17. This week's lower momentum collar down at 18.57. So that's XRP in a snapshot. Listen, mind the mo. If you are a short seller, you like selling things, that's fine. But if this thing closes the day above 32.55, please don't marry that short position, as it's already taken out this weekly lower momentum level. And for me, this week, 42.12 seems on strength very attainable. All right, listen, I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd so we can continue with this segment and talk about the rest of the sheet. So see you later, YouTube. All righty.